Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to my review for the 30th Anniversary Sentai Encyclopedia. We are currently in the middle of the 45th anniversary, and I reviewed the 45th Anniversary Encyclopedia, and it has inspired me to go back and look at previous books like this that I've had. As mentioned, as you can tell by the title and me saying it and just looking at it, this is for the 30th anniversary, which took place around Bokenger, so you're not going to see any content from past Bokenger, past Geki Ranger right here, but they have done updated books of this that happened later on, which I'm hoping to get my hands on. But this is the one that I have aside from the 45th one, which it is a different style too, which you'll see. It is a paperback rather than hardcover, but it's like a thick paperback, like it's not cheap. It's really nice. This is a really nostalgic one for me. I got this very early on when I became a Sentai fan. I think I found it at Anime Jungle when I was there for the first Morphicon, if I remember right. But they got kind of an amalgam of all the Sentais here on the front, and you can see Aqua Ranger and Boken Red there on the front. And it comes with a DVD that has 30s of 160s or something. But in front, you actually do have some Geki Ranger stuff, because this happened around when Geki Ranger is happening. And this is a sticker here with all the Ranger helmets, and I'm not going to use it, at least not right now. But so you have some Geki Ranger coverage. Had to zoom out a bit there. And this works a little bit differently. Like you can see if you saw the 45th Anniversary Encyclopedia in my review or elsewhere, it's a little bit more concise, a little bit more encyclopedia-like. But this is kind of more like a compilation of like the photo books you'll get. Like I have a Geki Ranger one that encompasses the whole season. And this is kind of like mashing those all together. And then now we have a look at all of our civilian teams, and then we go into Bokenger and you get profiles of everything. You get profiles of the Rangers, of the 6 Rangers, of the robots, of the robot formations, and it's really cool. And I'm going to be covering the Robo book I have as well that goes over the ones of the Robos and the toys. But if you're not interested in the toys, ones like these are the ones to get, because you have just the Robos and you don't have to worry about the toy pictures. Like I don't know why you would be so against the toy pictures you wouldn't want to see them, but this is just really cool. Like I remember looking through this over and over again, like when I first became a fan, and it was just so cool to be able to see all the different things and all the, especially for the ones like for seasons we didn't get or things we didn't get from certain seasons, and you get profiles on the villains as well, as you can see here. Here's Deca Ranger, and then obviously we're going to be going into Abba Ranger here in just a second. See, there we go, Abba Ranger. I don't think it features Whacker Wilson though, so it's going to be knocked down a few points on the score. Yeah, I'm not seeing Whacker Wilson in here, guys. It's been a minute since I looked in this book, but no Whacker Wilson, or is he in here? Nope, we have Abba Ray Pig, but no Whacker Wilson. 0 out of 10. Got some Hurricaneger going on here. Going into Gal Ranger. I always do that when I go over the books. I like this trailing off voice. This is my trailing off voice of going over a book. Here they show up this guy, which was their sort of like Sentai hero or 6th hero equivalent, since they didn't have a Titanium Ranger. Fun fact, they didn't have a Titanium Ranger in the Japanese version of Lightspeed Rescue, which is not really a fun fact, because I feel like people that don't even know Sentai know that, because it just comes up all the time. Some Lost Galaxy stuff, or Gingaman, excuse me. This was an exclusive character we didn't have. Mega Ranger. And then here we have George Costanza from Mega Ranger. I can't believe they put him in that show. Car Ranger, which is a very different series in Japan. It's really funny now going back and watching Turbo after seeing this. Like, it's very different. It's very much a parody show. I can definitely recommend it, though, if that's your thing. If you can enjoy that, there's a lot of fun to be had in that show, in my opinion. O Ranger, rather generic season. It's not that bad. It's just rather generic, you know. Hug Ranger. There's one I used to not like, and then I revisited it. It's actually pretty good. Solid series. I can recommend it. And that's one. This is a weird one, because it's like we got it, but we didn't. Because we got the Alien Ranger suits, but we also didn't really use everything about this series. So it's almost like watching a new series. And it's also in a similar vein to that is Die Ranger, in which we use the Zords and we use Kiba Ranger, but we didn't use everything else. So when you're watching this, it's like you can see like, oh hey, this is the episode where Rocky just wants to have fun happen, but also there's tons of new content. So that was something cool. The Die Ranger suits always was something that mystified me when I first found out about Sentai, because it was like something we didn't get or we almost got, and I just really like the suits in general too, and I couldn't help but imagine what if. Here you have this little indie series. It doesn't get a lot of attention. They never used it for adaptions here, and it's never dominated the designs in like niche items we get here. But yeah, there's G-Ranger. And now we're getting into ones, or starting to get into ones after this that we didn't get, all the pre-Ju series. And I think that's the stuff I looked at the most when I first got this book, was like Die Ranger and stuff, and then stuff like these, because I hadn't seen, you know, the pre-G-Ranger suits a lot, and all this stuff was foreign to me. Like there's a couple things in the other seasons that we didn't get, you know, like, oh, here's a weapon or a character or something we didn't get, or a vehicle or a character, but this is all stuff we didn't get because we didn't adapt them here. So this was exciting fascinating to me. It was like seeing into these Lost Ranger worlds. Of course, this was before Team New Powers and all that stuff, so there are some we have seen in Super Mega Force, and they've used in the comics now, but for the most part, this is a cool way. This is their Turbo Ranger. I don't know when this is being uploaded, but I just recently mentioned in a Zenkaiju review how it's funny that to me, because this is Turbo Ranger, and then Car Ranger is our Turbo Ranger, and to me that feels like the Sentai equivalent of us calling football soccer here, but with Sentai. Like, I don't know why, but I always think about that every time it comes up. Here we have Live Man. These are my personal favorite Pre-Gingaman Ranger suits. I don't know, there's just something about them. They're just like a really good classic look, but they also look like they could be happening in modern day at the same time. I'm a sucker for animal suits. I don't know, I just personally really like those suits a lot. Spoiler alert if I ever do a suit ranking that has anything to do with Pre-Gingaman Ranger suits, but I really dig those suits a lot. Here's X1 Mask, who was like sort of the first unofficial Six Ranger in a way before it became more of a tradition for, I almost said Jew Green, I can't believe I did that. What a basic Sentai nub. Before Dragon Ranger. Some Changeman going on, the sports bra looking characters. Did we use Changeman here? I don't remember if we used Changeman here for the new powers or not. I think we used these guys. I don't think we used them. It's kind of hard to remember sometimes because they went through the new powers so fast. Sun Vulcan, I definitely don't think we used them. And I think they were the last ones to get Sentai figure arts. Oh, and then, oddly enough, again, they have a weird section on Purge Night. I don't know why there's a whole dedication to Purge Night, but there's a dedication on Purge Night on there. Battle Fever Robo, and then of course we have Stacy's designs, which are inspired by Battle Fever, which people were mad at me because I said it looked like an Akiba Ranger, but it looks like both, to be honest. But anyway, and then they named theirs Battle Caesar Robo, or Battle Caesar Robo, that's what they named it, which I really like that, clever callback. Then you have the Jacka suits, and then this is obviously where we get our inspiration of Zenkaiju being the leader as a White Ranger is big one right there. And then the Go Ranger suits, the one that started them all. You know, if you guys know me, I'm not much of a retro guy, not much of a nostalgia guy, but I'll be honest, I kind of have a soft spot for these suits. I think it's because I found early figures of them when I was starting Sentai collecting, but yeah, they have a charming retro look. I've developed a soft spot over them, on them. Somewhere around them, there's a soft spot. So here's something cool. And then you get some sections on the team-ups. You get some sections on the team-ups and stuff like that. Here's the 30th anniversary team-up. This was back when we just did special team-up events and talks of team-ups and crossovers wasn't absolutely saturating us and stuff like that. So that's cool. And you get like kind of the group photos and stuff. Now, here is something cool after this little section here, is they actually gave us sections on the spreads they would have for the corresponding Power Rangers seasons. So they kind of show what was going on over there. I think they highlight Tommy because of how weird it is that he has all these Ranger powers, Team Silver Stripe for life, and so you get some sort of unique stuff like that, and you kind of show like, hey, this is MMPR, this is what we did here, obviously to highlight, and they have this logo here that looks like it's from the movie. And like the White Stranger, and like just kind of highlighting how unique it is. I can't read Japanese. I'm dying to know what these say. I'm willing to bet this book's so old somebody translated it, but I've always been so curious what they think of all the hybridizations we do, especially for stuff like MMPR. They even talk about the movie, which is cool. And then they highlight the Masked Rider crossover, which was neat. I recently just covered that in my Retro Team Up review series, and that's definitely an interesting place in history. Just, at the time, I thought nothing of it. But then, like, thinking back on it now that I'm a Toku fan, it's like, this had the G-Ranger suits with the Die Ranger suit and Black RX. Like, so weird. Kind of like how Forever Red has, like, you know, B-Fighter stuff in there. Highlights Season 3. Zeo, it goes through pretty much all of them. Turbo talks about the movie, which is just weird looking at this after Car Ranger. They're so different. Like, they did not care at all what Car Ranger did. I mean, I didn't want them to, but I'm just saying it's just so different. Then Season 2 with the GOAT, Rangers in Space, Battleizer are unique things. This is a unique thing they have there. I don't know if they had, I'm going to assume they had them in the future updated ones, and I'm hoping to get that and see if they have updated ones. This little spread here of the Lost Galaxy Rangers, that sounded weird, just reminds me of the early teasers from them in Fox Kids magazine, if anybody remembers that. Titanium Ranger, highlighting our US Ranger here, our US Battleizer. We got the team-ups. They even talk about the Turtles team-up. They talk about when Adam returned, and then we got Time Force here, and then the team-up here between between Time Force and Lightspeed Rescue. Now we have Wild Force. There's Wild Force. There's Master Org, who actually used the suit. I'm surprised they didn't put a little blurb picture in there, but this was a suit actually from Die Ranger. And then Forever Red, they highlight that. You got some B-Fighter stuff there, speaking of that. You got some Ninja Storm going on. Shows their Battleizer. Dino Thunder. This looks like a 2004 pamphlet for after-school activities, which makes sense since it is 2004. But just with the picture they use of Kira and Ethan, like, why go Greendale? Just because. Highlighting their team up. And then SPD, Mystic Force. Wait, no. This is Mystic Force, guys. Demis Billion School. This is Mystic Force. Another goat right there. And then it ends with Overdrive and the Battleizer, unfortunately. And then it talks a little bit about Koichi and him working on the shows and stunts, which is very cool. But what's unfortunate about this ending here is obviously this was right when Geki Ranger was coming out. 30th anniversary, ending Bokenger, starting Geki Ranger. So we didn't know what Jungle Fury was yet. But in these types of teaser images, we used to actually sometimes get, back in the day, teasers of what was to come in PR. Like, this is how we found out about it first. And they had one like that for Jungle Fury, which was the first look at the in-show suits of the Spirit Rangers. And that's when we first found out we were going to be getting them in the show, was one of those Japanese magazine teasers that showed the Jungle Master versions. Because up to that point, they seem to only be toy exclusive, so I'm hoping to get the one that has that spread in there because that was really cool to get that. But this is a really cool book. I can definitely recommend this if you're a fan and you like stuff like this, like me. This is one of my favorite items in my Sentai collection. I just really like looking back at it. Again, I'm hoping to get some of the updated ones, and if you can get your hands on one of the updated ones, I can recommend that as well. But if you don't mind only being cut off at Bokenger and you can find a good price for this, this is a really cool piece for your Sentai collection. That's it for this one though, guys. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.